Okay, let's start entering information for the modules I have brought in for this loft conversion, which are the coving, the beam including padstones, roof lights, and so on. Let's start at the top, which is the coving. It needs the total linear metres here, and I'll enter 22. As you can see, the coving has now been priced up. For the beams, it is asking for the quantity here. I will enter 2 for the number of beams. These cells are blue, which means they may need information entered. These ones need the length of the beams. One of the beams is to be 5 metres long. I can change the size and type of beam here. I'll use this magnify tool to view this drop-down list. I'll enter a timber beam also, just to show you the programme's flexibility. We can enter costs for prefabrication if required here, and view exactly what it means in this graphic. I'll also enter a delivery charge here. That's the beams all worked out and complete, with the total plant, material, hours, labour, and total cost for this module. If you don't require an item that the programme has calculated, simply click on the tick for that row and the cost will be removed. If you do this on the wrong one, you can click it again to bring it back in. The next module for this job is roof light in existing roof. I'll enter 4 for the number of roof lights here, along with the length and width. We can again choose the type we want here, along with any other items. All the costs and hours for the roof lights have been worked out. The next module is roof tiling. Let's say we don't want this. We simply click the module title and the Remove section button. So if you select all the modules and then decide to remove any, this is easily done. Now I come to plasterboard and plaster walls. I'll enter 28 square metres for this. As mentioned, red cells are important and need to be filled in with quantities and dimensions. Yellow cells are drop-down boxes or cells filled in with defaults, but can be changed as required, like this wastage percentage for example. Green cells are the unit prices and rates brought in from your central library. And if you select a different item, the relevant price for it is brought into the green cell. The blue optional cells require your judgment. In this case, any corner beads required. For some modules, the programme can work out how many corner beads are required, but it would not be possible for this one. The next module for this loft conversion is First Fix Electrics. I'll enter a shower, a telephone point, an extractor fan, 6 lights, and a TV point. I'll also enter 33 metres for the ring main. For the solid walls, I'll enter 2 double and 1 single socket and 1 light switch. In the stud walls, I'll enter 7 double sockets, 2 singles and 4 light switches. 2 smoke alarms will be required. I'll also enter the length of the ring main for the sockets. All the First Fix electrics have been calculated here, including the back boxes, TV and telephone points, a shower and the wiring. Items we don't require are left blank. You can check and edit items by clicking the red question marks. For example, the height from ring main to socket, so the programme can calculate the wiring. The next module for this loft conversion is the First Fix Plumbing. I'll enter 23 metres of this size copper pipe and 12 metres for this size. I'll also enter the pipe clips I'll need. There will be a soil stack, so I'll enter 3 metres for this, plus one air remittance valve. In the next module, I can enter the length of window board required, which is 6 metres. For the stairs, I'll enter one set of stairs. You can select the allowance for them here. For plastering internal masonry walls, I'll enter 26 metres and 5 lengths of the render bead. Don't forget, you can click on the blue question mark icons for a graphical explanation and on the red ones to enter information or change options, as well as see how the programme calculates items. The second fix electrics can be calculated for you by looking at what you've entered in the first fix. You just need to click on the calculator picture and it then calculates front plates for all the sockets, switches, TV and phone points, the smoke alarm, shower and extractor fan. This saves you a lot of time, but you can of course add them in manually if you prefer. You can then change any selections for items using the drop-down boxes. The next module is second fix plumbing. I'll enter some items I require here, including sinks, a toilet, a shower and tray, and some radiators. The valves for these have been worked out for me. For the skirting, I'll enter 44 linear metres. It works out how much timber I need, fixings and primer, undercoat and gloss for the skirting, along with the material costs, hours and labour costs. As mentioned, I can change items selected, as well as untick anything I don't want to include. In the architraves module, I'll enter one doorway. Like the skirting, it works out the fixings and decorating for this. If you have several items down the pricing sheet that will need decorating, and all or most of them require staining, say, you can choose stain as the default for them all by clicking the stain tin here. You can then click on any individual items that are to be painted if required. You can also set it so items are neither painted nor stained. Again, after setting them one way, you can change any individual items. Click the Info button for further information on this. I'll enter 3 new doors and the programme calculates all the door fittings, linings, stops, architraves and the decorating for those doors. Now we come to the decorating section. I'll enter 2 small windows and 1 medium. You can change the size of windows that the programme specifies as small, medium and large, and you can also select whether they are painted or stained, as well as edit how many square metres a litre of paint covers. The exterior paint, for example, is set to 10 square metres per litre, but if the exterior walls had a rough surface, you might want to decrease this if you think it will cover less than 10 square metres. You can also change the default number of coats. You can learn more about this in the decorating module movie section. This is just one of the ways the programme is totally flexible, allowing you to view and change the way it calculates and what it takes into consideration. Enter any external doors or patio doors to be decorated if required. At the bottom of this module, it is allowed for knotting, primer, undercoat and gloss. I will also include some internal walls and ceilings to be decorated. The programme has worked out all the materials required for the decorating here. That's the Loft conversion priced up. I can add in any additional modules for this job. For example, say the client also requires a carport. I click the letter C and then on the carport required. I'll select the one using PSE timber, which is plain square-edged rafters and posts. We have an option if we want sawn rafters and posts. Now all it needs is the length of the carport and the length of the rafters. I'll click on the image to specify these. I'll enter 4.4 metres for the rafter length and 6 metres for the carport length. You can change the default centres here if required. This has now worked out a vast amount of information. If you want to view how anything has been calculated, simply click the question mark icons on each row. The red ones allow you to adjust default selections and options. For example, in these rows, sand and cement for the posts, the graphic lets me change the cement being used from the default 25 kg bags and the mix of the cement. This also shows what the programme has allowed for in cubic metres of soil to be removed. Another example of using the graphics is here. For waste disposal, click the image, then you can change the type of disposal required. I'll change it to a 4-yard skip. You might be wondering about the order of the modules in the pricing sheet and how you can change this. This can be changed easily so every new module is brought in at the top or the bottom of the pricing sheet each time. This is best set up in your master copy, ready for every estimate. It is explained in the master copy movie section. If you forget to bring in a module as you are pricing a job, you can set it so that you can specify exactly where a new module is added in. You would then click a letter of the alphabet, click the module you want the new one to be placed above, and then choose the new module you want brought in. I have now completed what is required to price up this sample job.